Welcome to the Psychic News Network. It's Monday, March 27th. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes before we get into it. Almost didn't come on tonight. But then I thought it might be better for us to be together. So, I actually was going to call for everybody to just be praying. Because of, we know, there was a school shooting in Nashville. So I'm begging everybody who hears this, I'm begging you. Hi. Hello. I'm begging. I mean, I could get on my knees and beg for every single person that sees this video to sign petitions to end the madness of guns. If you join grassrootsofdemocracy.com, or if you just go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com, we have spent several meetings over the course of a little over a year. It's been a year and 3 months, 2 months, that we've had Grassroots of Democracy. We have spent several meetings working on signing petitions and writing emails and doing what we need to do to get gun laws in place. Anyway, so, and I remember it wasn't that long ago, I sent out, I don't even remember which shooting it was, that I sent out an email, a mass email, for just to talk about how my heart was breaking, and our hearts are all breaking, and two, we are freaking devastated. And what's interesting to me, and we'll get into the reading in a little bit, but I do need to spend some time on this. That just yesterday, and I was actually trying to remember when I had said this before, and I knew I had said these words within the past 24 hours. I had said, my heart is really heavy. That was yesterday, and it wasn't even referring to what went on today in Nashville. My heart was very heavy because of what we witnessed the former guy that was in the White House doing with crowds, with thousands of people cheering on the hatred and the violent rhetoric and the vitriol and the anti-democracy and the pro-Putin. And that's why my heart was heavy yesterday. And we are all together in this. And then earlier I was saying my heart was very heavy, and I was like, wait, didn't I say that twice in 24 hours? What's it about this time? You know how you just get pummeled with all this bad news and then you kind of lose track of what news? Oh, thanks. I just came from the show with Kathy. We did a really good astrology show, and we did touch on this, of course. I'm pleading with you. I'm pleading. I am begging you. Begging. From the bottom of my broken heart, please do something to stop the madness of this gun violence. We have to stop the madness. It's up to us. It's not going to happen if we don't put consistent, persistent pressure on all of our representatives. Throw the bums out like the Ted Cruzes and the Abbotts and the DeSantises, who's just said, go ahead and anybody can have a gun. Just go. This woman, and it's a woman this time, this woman went into a store in Nashville and bought 2 assault weapons and ammunition and a handgun. And this time it was a woman. And what's always blessed to say in psychopathic, what's psychopathic, what is beyond my comprehension is these people in positions of leadership that say, no, we don't need any gun control. And our babies, our children are not only subjected to all this hateful rhetoric, they're being gunned down at school repeatedly. And if you look at the statistics, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of innocent people like me and you being gunned down because someone lost it. And that wouldn't happen if they didn't have access to guns. And I know I'm just speaking to everybody that already knows, but I think there's value in that, because I think that if we are all feeling the same way, this is why we go to the news, this is why we go to the podcast, this is why we go to, YouTube channels, because we want to know that other people are thinking the same way that we're thinking. And then that gives us a kind of a form of comfort that we all need. No background checks. No. There was a psychologist discussing cult mentality today. That might have been Stephen Hassan, but I don't think he's a psychologist. The governor's Christmas photo was a family in front of the tree with AK-15s. The one in, who's the governor of Tennessee? This guy with the last name of Lee, I think, anyway, I don't remember, but I know he was when I was there. Please go to grassrootsdemocracy.com. Find the place, and I'll be more specific and guide you to it in the next video on Wednesday too. Or tomorrow night at our 20 on Tuesdays guided meditation group. Please come. Sign every petition that you can find. These types of things, Joanne, don't happen anywhere but the United States. I know you're in Canada, right? Because she's saying it doesn't happen in Canada. They don't have... They don't happen in any place but the United States. We're starting to look like a terrorist country. So Ray, the punishment must be so horrific that it terrifies a shooter. I have a more effective solution. And I understand the value of your point that you're making. I want to just say that the solution is at least less guns, at least a ban on assault weapons. My God. It was a she. It was a female. Silly me putting up, well, he's dead, so no punishment for him other than death. It wasn't a male. So, thank you. Yeah, get rid of the NRA, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that there was a time where, after the Parkland shooting, there's forgive me, I don't know his name. He's a Latino man. What a beautiful son that he lost to the massacre at Parkland. And don't be embarrassed. Why are you embarrassed? Oh, to be in the country. Yeah, to be in a country that's this violent. So they had set up, and you may have seen this. This is a couple of years ago. The father of a Parkland school shooting victim. Beautiful, beautiful boy. Beautiful boy. They set up an outdoor, it looked like a graduation scene, and they mocked it up so that it looked like these guys that were heads of the NRA were giving a commencement speech, and they set it up. It was like they, punked them. They set up all these chairs, and there were 4,000 to 5,000 chairs. I don't know if you remember this. So they set up a mock situation, and the NRA guys, they were told that they were going to do a rehearsal of this graduation speech that they were going to give to this group that was empty chairs, because it was supposed to be a rehearsal. There were about 5,000 chairs. Come to find out, I have to go back and look at that video. I think it was a couple of years ago. The NRA, heads of the NRA that were practicing their graduation speeches were told that actually that was a setup. And those empty chairs represented all the students who had been slaughtered in school shootings and gun violence, school shootings. We're talking about, I don't know what the total number of people that have been slaughtered by guns is. I'm afraid to look. I'm afraid to find out how many. Because it seems like every single week, we're mourning again, and we're done with the prayers and thoughts, and we send the prayers and the thoughts, but my God, this is fucking insanity. Excuse my French. This has got to stop. I'm losing track because people are putting in the chat other shootings that they've heard about. Can I get a witness? I'm not alone in this. I know that we're all affected. When I ever turn on the news, a survivor from the Highland shooting just happened to be there and jumped in at the news conference. That's interesting. When I turned on the news today and I saw that it was Nashville and it was right down the street from where I lived for 11 years. I've driven that road many times. The tears just started flowing. And I just can't imagine what it's like for those parents. And I have to tell you something, it's not the first time I've cried on a live video about this. It's not. Please do something. Please do something. Please sign petitions. Please write to the president. Write to your senators and representatives, your state representatives, your mayors, your everybody. Because you know what I know for sure, and we'll jump into the reading in a bit. What I know for sure is just like the idea, it's a separate topic, but just like the concept of global climate change, if it hasn't hit you now, it will. If it hasn't hit you by now in some really significant way, it's just a matter of time. If it hasn't touched you yet, it's just a matter of time. Nira was saying, and it's a private school, it was a grocery store. It was a garlic festival. It was a concert. It was a gay bar. It was a movie theater. It was a college. It was many colleges. It was a high school. It was many high schools. It was just people hanging out, having a nice time somewhere. It was the trial of Cruz. It was the list goes on and on and on and on. So I thought about not coming on tonight, and then I know that we have to keep going, and we have to keep each other uplifted, and we have to be informed and stay informed and be involved. The 4th of July parade, that's what I said, like, just out, I know, that one, oh my God, that one really, they all really, it's terrorism. And it's terrorism, sometimes it's intentional terrorism, sometimes it's people that just have a gun and they get crazed for so many different reasons. And there's no need for us as a nation to be, I mean, it turns into an award, what sounds like, if you listen to it, it turns into, after the shooting, and I'm not discrediting or overlooking the courage and the bravery and the amazing thing that happens when, like, the police come and they avoid an even worse massacre. They figure it out, and they go in and they get the killer, you know, and then it turns into an award. It sounds like an award show after the shooting. I'd like to thank the police department. I'd like to thank the fire department. It starts to sound like there's a very old concert of Simon and Garfunkel in Central Park. I guess it must have been in the 80s. And at the end of the show, and the recording of the show, Paul Simon saying, "I'd like to thank the police department. I'd like to thank the fire department." I just remember it because I've listened to it many times. That's what it starts to sound like at the end of these shootings. And I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you, Colleen. That's why we're here. The awards show part drives you crazy. It drives me crazy, too. When they start talking about, well, we could do this, and we could do that, and we could do this, we could do this, and we could do, like what would Ted Cruz say about Uvalde? We need to lock the back door of the schools. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm just going to conclude this segment of the program by saying this. Don't let anybody tell you that it's anything but the fact that we have way more guns than human citizens in this country is the problem. That's it. That is the problem. Don't let them gaslight you. Don't let anybody make you think that, oh, it's because they were mentally unstable. Of course they were mentally unstable. Don't insult our intelligence. We went to school and we felt safe in school when we were growing up. And it didn't cross our minds that we might be slaughtered at our desk. We didn't think about it because it wasn't a thing. You took a gun from 2 boys who tried to rob you for ice cream? 120 guns for every 100 people. And I just want to mention that I just finished up my show with Kathy Beale. We did my first podcast that was on video, and it's on my channel, and you may have been there. And I asked Kathy, you'll hear it if you watch that podcast. I asked her if we can see any astrological configurations that can point to maybe right here, you know, maybe this will shift things. And when I was young, we practiced fire drills. That was about it, right? And she did see something astrologically that might support something actually being done. But, you know, we kind of feel like we're being strung along here. And government by the people, for the people. Your son wants a gun because of the neighborhood you live in. Even Uber doesn't go there. I'm sorry about that. 600,000 AR-7s are sold every year in the USA. So, and I said I was gonna change the topic, but not yet. I want to make another point because I want to motivate everybody here. Everybody. Everybody feels like just one person can't make a difference. I want to motivate. That's my heartfelt desire. I want to motivate everybody here to do something today. Don't put it off. I want to remind you that around the end of February, the people that are serving in our Congress, and we know who they are, and there's not just a couple of them, there's a lot of them, ripped the American flag off their lapels. They ripped the American flag off their lapels, and what did they replace it with? This is a test. What did they replace the American flag that they ripped off their lapels? They have the honor and the privilege of serving their constituents, serving the United States. And what they replaced the American flag with, AR-15 gun pins. And we're just going to go about and like, we're just going to do our lives. Oh, we can't think about that. I'm too busy to do anything about it. Oh, I've just got too much going on. I can't sign petitions. I can't get involved. Give me a break. They're wearing AR-15 lapel pins. And Trump is out there calling for violence. Damn them to hell is right. So I'm going to cry more tears later, but boy, I did. I cried real tears today. That was just... I've considered Nashville to be my other home. And one thing that I did talk about earlier on the podcast was that there is something that gives me hope, and that's that community in Nashville has a way of pulling together. And Lauren Boebert too. Yeah. Posing for Christmas cards with AR-15s. With weapons of war that are so designed to just, the bullet enters a human body and it just dissolves everything. AR-15 pins are sick. And so, I just don't know really, and this is something I'm working on figuring out. Maybe we can read about it. I'm not sure how to get the average American to go from, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know. It's too bad, isn't it? To go from that to, no freaking way, not on my watch. No freaking way, not on my watch. Weapons of war on babies, yeah. And who did I hear today? Oh, at the rally. Nashville's awesome, isn't it? Dr. Nancy, maybe I knew you. Lived in Nashville for 20 years. I do think that the music community there, the music community there in Nashville will pull together. And music is, as we know, it's a great medium for communication. I think Ted Nugent he's just lost his marbles completely. Right after the shooting, I happened to hear Ted Nugent, what he said at that Waco horribleness. I don't know. What do you want to call it? The Waco horribleness? Exactly. You beat me to my point. Why do they need more babies if they do not plan to protect them or teach them? Ted Nugent said, he's such an idiot. We are pro-babies, pro-life, and pro-gun. Something to the effect of and Second Amendment. He said something to that effect. We're pro-life and pro-babies. I think that's what he said. He's a monster. They're pro-life and pro-babies, right? Trump's calling for like a baby. Let's have more babies, right? Well, I think that's going to happen with the abortion ban. I need to stop. I know. I understand. I need to stop, but Yeah, have the babies. Have more and more and more babies. Send them to school to be shot up. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for not leaving in the middle of my rant. It makes me feel like that we do all feel and know that we're going to do something about this. Please join Grassroots of Democracy. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Is he going to the funerals of those babies? Well, let me remind you that after Uvalde, because it's easy to forget these things because there's so much going on. Yeah, and Trump, that was intentional. That Trump held that on the anniversary of the horrible Waco incident. That after Uvalde, let's think about this. After Uvalde, a few days later, maybe a couple of days later, okay, another test time. What did Abbott do? What event did Greg Abbott attend just a few short days after Uvalde, and Ted Cruz, and Trump, and the rest of them? Where did they go? After Uvalde, where did they go a few days later? Test time. I'll wait. We're not going to go to the cards till they went to an NRA convention. Much to the dismay and the disgust. Yep. And what were they calling for the whole time? We need to lock up the schools. Give me a break. Smiling at the NRA convention. They don't care. They don't care. And anybody who votes for people like this, there's blood on their hands. Anyone who votes for people like this, there is blood on their hands. It's just, there are no words. So I'm going to pick 3 cards. It was a gun gala. They were all, and there were protesters outside the convention hall. All is well helps you daily. That's my chant on Church of Spirituality. There were protesters on the fences outside of the convention a few days after the Uvalde massacre. There were protesters on one side. They had a fence, and on the other side, the people attending the NRA convention were mocking the people that were protesting guns. And Ron DeSatan is, yeah, we loathe them, so why are people voting for them again and again? And Ron DeSatan in Florida has just made it totally legal. Totally, no permit needed. No permit needed. Watch the clip of Jon Stewart interviewing, gosh, I don't know the guy's name, a young Republican, so-called Republican, about the fact that they need to shut down a drag queen reading a children's book to children because that's so, I loved when Beto told them off, yeah. That's so dangerous. Yeah. Oh, those drag queens reading a book to a child. That's so dangerous. We can't have that. Well, let's have laws against that. Let's have the domestic terrorist extremist groups show up with their guns at the drag queen story hour for the children because that's so dangerous. But buy more guns. We are not a civil society. We used to be. It's the NRA. Yeah, the NRA. And I've actually read before in the NRA, and I did see the NRA crumbling, but not yet. Because, see, they're funded by Russia. Your sister said to, yeah. And that, Sunshine saying, her sister said it doesn't affect me. That's exactly what I was saying. What kind of human is that complacent in a democracy? They did it the same in Missouri as in Florida. So they're making guns way more available. Dancing Warrior, why is our society regressing? I did ask Kathy some semblance of that question today. I have to go back and listen to the show to see exactly what she said astrologically. I do know that before a huge, significant, especially planetary change, a shift in consciousness, the dark gets a lot darker. That's why I've had the sign behind me for forever. We give thanks that darkness reminds us of light. What the darkness does is forces us. It does. It forces us, if we're alive. I mean, if we have the life force in our body, it forces us to fight for the right thing. Some people says, I did not see or hear it, so it never happened. Well, if they enjoy going through life that unconscious, all the power to them. I'm sorry that I swore earlier. I just couldn't help it. I don't think I'll get in trouble for that on YouTube. I get in trouble for other things, like singing someone's song. So on this issue, I do think Nashville will be, and I've said this about Uvalde, but just because I have an intimate connection with the city of Nashville, even though it's changed a lot, it's still fundamentally that energy of that nurturing energy of Nashville is still present. I have the Empress and the Emperor. The parents are not going to stand for this. I know that was in a wealthy area of Nashville. I just voiced my new French word. I haven't learned any swear words in French. They don't have them on Duolingo. I think I'm on day 165 in a row. Getting there. Someday I'm going to spew out a whole paragraph in French. It's not good to die under illusions. Okay, so I do like what I see here. I feel this is the Empress and the Emperor. So there's a lot of money in Nashville, in that area where that happened. That's a wealthy area, and so it's like these people will put the resources together to make sure something gets done. I think that I'm seeing a really long road here in terms of getting legislation passed. The Page of Rods, this is about the children and the parents being activating. So those are powerful cards, the Empress and the Emperor. Please say a lot of prayers for the people that are suffering. You just can't imagine. And I'm going to get the number. I'm going to find the statistic, or maybe you guys can find it, of how many gun deaths there have been since Columbine. Doesn't matter what kind of school it was, right? Darlene saying it was a private school, but never. It doesn't matter what it was. It doesn't matter what it was. Where it was is irrelevant to me. And we said it was all going to turn after Uvalde, with Pluto and Aquarius on a turning point. We just got to make sure things turn in the right direction. Okay, so because this dominated the news, I haven't really seen the updates. No, background checks are not going to make a difference. I mean, anything is better than nothing. 376 school shoots since Columbine. I think that's wrong. No, I don't think that's accurate. I think there are more. I guess, unless I'm lumping in the other shootings. Yeah. I just want to go to the other news because I'm kind of in over my head with the energy of what happened again today. And you do know, boy, the South is going through it. With the tornado outbreaks too. I think there's probably more school shootings since Columbine than 300 and something. I'm going to look up the number of people. Anyway. Yeah, the South is having a lot of tornadoes too. One shooting is one too many. Yes, thank you. It's true. Well, I know, Joanne, you're saying Sterling predicted another shooting. I don't mean to be flippant, but I'm going to be flippant for a second. It doesn't take a psychic to predict another shooting in the United States of America. It doesn't. Anyone who considers themselves without a cell of psychic ability, anyone who considers themselves can say there'll be another school shooting. And guess what? There will be another school shooting. We will never get totally rid of guns. Ours would. I can't read that. Anyway, I'm going to ask if the Biden administration will succeed in moving something forward after this. Still the wool being pulled over people's eyes. Still the delusion, the illusion. I'm asking if the Biden administration will be able to move forward to a swords stalemate. Let me know if 3 people tell me that I'm buffering, I will reboot. Maybe 4. I don't have the greatest Wi-Fi. Hello, Bon Blue. This is a Biden administration. I asked if they could make a significant shift on gun reform laws. The 7 of Cups is the wool being pulled over everybody's eyes. And this has to do with, they're coming to take your guns. They're coming to take your guns, which actually Democrats have never threatened to take people's guns. Right? I have a short fuse today. All right, so the Biden administration running into log jams. Okay, since Columbine, 338,000 school shootings, children probably, or just shootings. Yeah, the same people are pro-life. That's exactly what. Listen to what Ted Nugent, if you can stomach it, what Ted Nugent said at that rally yesterday. It set me off to hear that there's a psychic predicting a school shooting. I'm sorry. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I love you. Please don't take it personally. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles is there's mothers demand action. I feel like it's the mothers. Of course it's the mothers. Yeah, but what they always say, this is the card, this is what the fascists, the domestic terrorist segment of our population. Can we drop the topic of a psychic predicting a shooting, please? I'm politely requesting that. Like, I wouldn't. Sorry. Please stay with me. I wouldn't answer that question. If somebody asked me, will there be another school shooting, I would not answer that question. Because maybe I'm different, and I'm not saying that people are wrong for doing this. Me, personally, I would not answer a question like that. Because I don't want people to be thinking about it, because thoughts have energy, and nothing against any psychic that's doing that. Please understand me. You saw a poster that said, what if it were your child? I'm sorry, I'm not in a good mood. I asked you to please stop bringing it up. Okay. It's not a time to be like, oh, I predicted that. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, I know people send me hate emails when I do that, but I just, I reserve the right to be really pissed off right now. The Queen of Pentacles means the mothers are going to make a difference. They really will. The mothers will not stand for this. And so this movement is going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And once again, I apologize if I yelled at you. But when I keep saying something and then it keeps happening, it's like, I feel unimportant. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Let's read on the aftermath of that horrible hell show. I never thought that I'd see it in my lifetime. One thing I know for sure is that rally all this. So Joanne, you know, all the same, you know, like, I don't understand predicting horrible things like that. I don't understand that. And let me just put it this way. If I saw it, I wouldn't tell you. Thank you for giving me permission to be pissed off. Bond Blue. The rally yesterday, I cannot believe, and I did mention in my last video that maybe I would do a guided meditation, but when I tune into the energy prior to that rally, it was more slimy, dark, evil, crud, bottom of the barrel, as low as you go, horrible, horrible, horrible energy that I could not watch it, but of course I saw clips of it on Midas Touch afterwards. And I did say on Friday, I said, I see violence. And I said, I see the energy of January 6th. And lo and freaking behold, he had the January 6th jail choir and video of January 6th. He's bragging about it. The crowd looked bored. Well, he's, you know, you hear the same old shtick like thousands of times, and I couldn't. There was no way. Okay, so that rally, the aftermath of that rally is he's killing. I used to say in like videos about Trump, maybe in 2020. This is what I used to say. I'm swearing like a sailor tonight, so you have to excuse me. I would say Trump is taking our Constitution and pissing all over it. I don't know if you guys have heard me. I do think Trump is losing support. I do. And they always leave early. I notice that. Thank you for that confirmation about ethics. Kiss Alex 99. I appreciate that. It's just everyone has their own certain personal code of ethics in this work. So I respect anybody, you know, whatever their code of ethics is, that's fine for them. I was just kind of telling you what it's like for me, and it does upset me, but it's none of my business, right? The Ten of Swords, this is Trump is pissed all over our Constitution, and he's pissing all over our democracy, and he's doing it in plain view. And one of the things, one of the parents yelled at a Fox News reporter. I saw that at the shooting. There's a way to look at what Trump is doing that can give you a bit of perspective on how it can help us. And hear me out. From what people are saying in the chat about the shooting, citizens of Nashville will do that. They will go straight up to people and the reporters and go, "Aren't you sick of this?" I totally see that. Please hit the thumbs up if you can, if I haven't pissed you off. I appreciate it. So, how we can take this energy and turn it around with the horrible hell show that Trump put on. That was the most, I mean, it might as well have been, and it kind of in a way, it was. It might as well have been Putin. It might as well have been Putin's rally. You're welcome. I'm glad to be here. Despite all my ranting and yelling, and I am still glad that we're here. Because earlier I said I almost didn't come on tonight. I almost just set up my video cam with a candle so we'd all pray, which I hope we all do that. It might as well have been Putin on the stage at the Waco rally, and I'm going to ask the pendulum, was it? In terms of that he was watching, the Kremlin. Yes, the Kremlin was watching. I'm getting a sense that Trump was showboating for, I'm just going to say the Kremlin, because we don't know who that guy is that's posing as Putin. We really don't. It's a lookalike. So Trump was showboating for Putin. I just spent 35-40 minutes ranting about the shooting, so I think I have to move to a different topic for the time being. I feel like Trump was showboating for the Kremlin, or, you know, the guy that they call Putin, in order to get, in hopes of getting money. In hopes of getting money. And I had said a while back that I think that, like, when Putin started the war, I felt like Trump going to Putin for money would have been tough. Because he needed it for the... Yeah, but I'm not just talking about showboating. I'm talking about showboating for Putin. Did you catch that part? Did you catch that part? Tony Ann? I'm just telling you, I'm just reading the energy of that hell show. He was showboating for Putin, for the Kremlin. Trump is in a very challenging time right. This card actually indicates exactly what I just said. Where there's a big challenge here. It's like pushing a peanut up a mountain with your nose. But it's actually going to rub us such the wrong way. When we see that rally played, that, let's look at the glimmer of hope here. I have the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. This is about all the evidence that's against Trump right now. I don't know. Maybe we'll dive into a little bit of what Jack Smith is up to, but that they're keeping that really wrapped up for a good reason. You're asking me, Sherry, was Trump also mocking the prosecutors? I didn't watch it because I couldn't stomach it. It literally makes me sick. I mean, it makes me feel ill. But I would say the chances are 100% that he was mocking the prosecutors, yeah. And everyone's saying that people look so bored at the rally. The Five of Rods is resisting, pushing up against something and getting stronger. So this has to do with our democracy. We have something really clear. It's just the same thing. Like, I just want to say, how can you just sit there when this is going on? More and more people are not going to just be sitting there. If they put a gag order on them, I don't know. I mean, I actually felt like, and I said this on Friday, that I did see this happening. Maybe that doesn't take a psychic, but I saw that it would, I do remember this now on Friday. If you were with me on Friday, his voice is so annoying, that I did see that what he said at this rally on Friday when I was doing PNN, what he says at the rally, I said, would really cause he'd have to be reeled in. Yeah, because it will be used against him. And then what happened was he took down the post of him with the baseball bat, like the baseball bat. Anyway, I'm not laughing at what he posted. I'm just mixing up my words. Can't wait to open up what present? I felt like that he did take that down. So I felt like after this rally that he would get reeled in. Anyway, there's so much evidence against him and it's just piling up more and more. I did say a week ago that it was, or more than a week ago, that we thought the rhetoric was bad. We thought the rhetoric was bad, you know, a couple weeks ago from Trump. And I couldn't believe it when I saw how much worse it was going to get. Yeah. Anyway, but my point here is that it will make our fervor for saving our democracy much stronger. I mean, we could look at this as though we're the Ukrainians with, you know, up against Vladimir Putin. I think they might just be giving him more and more rope. I just dropped some cards. Oh wait, they're the Joker cards. They're fine. They're the spares. It's time for my commercial. Hang on. Yeah, the Mothers Against Gun Violence is Moms Demand Action. Come to Grassroots of Democracy. We'll go over that. Okay, real quick, bear with me. Of course, a spiritual approach to weight loss. This is my commercial. I'll get back to the questions momentarily. Of course, the spiritual approach to weight loss. If you're interested in taking that course that I'm teaching in April, 4 Saturdays in April, I have a free Q&A. If you want to know if it's gonna be something that you would benefit from, and I know you'll benefit from it. And all the classes that I do are recorded, and you can turn off your video camera if you don't want to be seen. But all the classes that I do that are recorded for the class participants, and they have the class forever and ever as long as they want to have it. And my classes almost always involve a guided meditation. Yeah, so if you want to join, where's the wrench? I think I have, do I have no wrenches? I can add some wrenches if needed. If you want to join the Q&A for the spiritual approach to weight loss, that's a free Q&A. Just thank you, LB, I appreciate it. Go to my website, psychicandetdion.com, to sign up for that. 20 on Tuesdays, the guided meditation where we visualize a healed America. That's a really important meeting. Every Tuesday, go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com to put your email address in so you get the Zoom invite. And at that meeting, you have an opportunity to stay for 30 minutes more, and I go over the spiritual lessons from Sunday's Church of Spirituality. As far as Church of Spirituality goes, please watch Church of Spirituality. There are prayers, there are really great chants that help you through your life. There's a prayer for healing of America. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And there's an awesome sermon, if I may say so myself. And on, let's see, Grassroots of Democracy, we meet Thursdays and we meet on Saturdays too. And that's all I can think of right now because I'm in my psychic brain. Besides, book a reading. Miss Orchard's Garden, she doesn't miss church. It's awesome. And by the way, anyone who's donated, thank you profusely. If you'd like to donate to my channel to help me to continue this work, which I'm so dedicated to, there's a tip jar below. And you can also do that on my website. That was my commercial. We're going to just kind of look at the DOJ. This is what I'm going to look at. And we'll look in New York too. And by the way, Kathy Beal, the astrologer, professional Aquarian, she sees Trump in really, really big trouble. So it sounds to me like it's all going to be over for him in October. So we'll see. I know it seems far away, but really. thank you for encouraging me to express my feelings. So let's look at how Jack Smith is feeling about the whole process. Oh, you like my commercial? Great. I'm not trying to sell you something that you don't want. I mean, that's why I'm not monetized. I don't want you to have to watch a commercial or even skip the commercial. I hate commercials. Okay, Jack Smith, where he's at right now. It's a burden. It's a big burden. Pence and Trump are going to speak at the NRA convention. They have no souls. How can it be canceled? Protest! If you are in Indianapolis, protest. So this is about Jack Smith and the DOJ, and it really looks like there's wrenches being thrown in the works. I'm not saying that he won't achieve his goals, Jack Smith. You guys still there? The chat disappeared. But there's a little ways to go. There's a little ways to go. So I'm gonna reach for a few more cards about the DOJ. The burden of death threats is pretty heavy on their minds. Definitely protest. If there's going to be every single let's just think about this. Let's really just be logical. Don't you think that every single NRA convention in the United States that's planned from this moment forward should be shut down? Let's take a vote. I can't do a poll from here. Don't we think that every single NRA convention that's planned in the United States of America from this point forward should be canceled? Oh, I'm glad you liked the podcast with Kathy. It was a good one. There's a lot of great information in there. Every single NRA convention should be canceled. And if the people demand it, it would happen. If all the people... Oh, you have gun shows every single weekend in Florida? It's just a matter of time, right? That's not a psychic prediction. Yeah, so it's unanimous. We think... Yeah, what reason is there for the NRA to exist? There's no reason. The only reason for the NRA to continue to exist at this point, the only reason for it to exist at this point would be to encourage more shootings. Besides, we know that it's all about the money. It's blood money. It's literally blood money. It's not money, it's blood money. That's the only thing that will come from further NRA conventions is further shootings. Yeah, ban books, but not guns. I'm telling you, that 5 of rods that I just got was really about people fighting back. They are money grabbers? Well, yeah. I'm gonna read a little bit more on the DOJ and where they're at. I mean, just Merrick Garland, and we're Trump and Putin twins in another life. They are so similar. They really are. The way they think, it's a fascist brain. And they're also, I haven't really settled on what you would call a murderer's brain, a sociopath, I think. They both have that, obviously. This is about the DOJ. So the first 3 cards I pulled indicated lots of death threats, lots of work, lots of burden, but making progress. But they have a ways to go. And, I can guesstimate. And now, and then I think it's just a few months. The DOJ prosecuting Trump. And then it's going to happen fast. I've always seen that. I've always seen that once it gets going, it's going to happen fast. I mean, the indictments and everything. 5 of rods. I might have said, no, I said 5 of swords. 5 of rods, I mean. Okay, so the Queen of Cups. Can't believe you're bringing that up again. Anyway, let it go, Annette. This looks like Letitia James. The 9 of Rods looks like progress made. Yeah. It's going to be a matter of like 3 months before we see dominoes. It doesn't mean nothing will happen in the meantime. And the guides are giving me the sense of it's going to be a few months because they have to figure out how to kind of lock him down. Lock him up! Is that what they're doing? I get the sense that they have to kind of batten down the hatches energy. Like before they go get him, they have to safeguard the situation. That's what I get. I get before they go get him, I'm actually picking up that what they're doing is they're safeguarding. Super glue his mouth shut. We can imagine that. I feel like what they're doing, it's taken a little while because they're safeguarding. How's Pinocchio doing? Well, look. He has some deal with Brazil. I had said that George Santos, I had said about him, the guy that calls himself that, is he's going to be subjected to justice from Brazil. I felt like Brazil was going to come and get him. Anyway, I get that they're kind of building a fortress so that Trump can't do more harm before they actually go get him. The DOJ. They cut him a deal. Brazil, I don't believe that. Benjamin, I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm saying that from a psychic perspective, I don't think Brazil is done with him. You don't have a choice not to see school shootings? Are you a teacher? I'm wondering why you're saying that. Yeah, okay, Catherine Rodriguez. So a couple of you are saying that Santos made a deal. Understand that when a psychic is going for a psychic impression and somebody says, but this is what's going on, well, the psychic is going to go by the impression. So you might see that in the news. I'm just explaining. You might see in the news that they're saying Santos in Brazil, whatever the hell his name is, they made a deal and it's over. Okay, you could say that because the news reported it, but then when you ask the psychic of PNN and she says, I see Brazil coming for him. I don't know what I'm talking about in terms of, I see Brazil coming for him. That's the energy that I get. So, I'm just saying. Mars doesn't want him either. Speaking of Mars, does anyone know what's going on with Elon Musk? Was he in the news today? Not that I want to know. Where do these people come from? So, yeah, I'm just saying, just understand that. Like, you may have heard it in the news, but you're asking me for my psychic impression. It will very many times differ from the news. That's very true. Excuse me while I get some seltzer. Thirsty. He lost about $20 million. What's MM? Yeah, I feel like the Brazil will come for him. Like, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Speaking of that, I mean, I think I did read about the DOJ. Yeah, they're actually safeguarding America before they go really get Trump. But when they do, it's going to be quick. So just for the hell of it, I mean, I actually was reading earlier about the aftermath of the rally in Waco, and now I'm going to look at cards for Trump. Please hit the thumbs up if you can. I'm looking at just Trump right now. Trump is looking for Mother Russia to come and help him. I came up twice. Santos is going down. Yeah. Well, you know, and when you think about everything that's going on in this country, don't you see that it's kind of like, you know, a mother with her unruly children, like she can put up with it to a certain point. And then there's a tipping point. And what's happening in America is, you know, we'll put up with so much to a point. But after a certain point, we've had enough and we're not going to take it anymore, right? Donald Trump. He's looking for Mother Russia to come get him. To come rescue him. Actually, that's this card. He's looking across the ocean. Oh, Trump. Oh, Putin. Oh, Putin. Oh, Pootie. Oh, Kim Jong-un. My lover. Doesn't he know it's not the originals? It's not the original Kim Jong-un. It's not the original Putin. Anyway. He's still trying to... Trump is still... Boy, it's a full-time job. And when I say full-time job, I mean 14 hours a day. Trump is he's doing deals. Or attempting to do deals. That's really, what kind of life is that? Honestly. Just trying to, you know, play this one and play that one. And did anyone see Joe Tacopina? Oh, look, she felt so much better after attending Church of Spirituality. You all need to watch Church of Spirituality. We need spiritual upliftment. I'm not asking you for anything. Just watch it. Just subscribe. Watch it. Hit the thumbs up. Help me out. Help me out here. Yes, Jack Smith does have an eye on Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan. He definitely does. Definitely does. Yeah, we've had enough. Well, we don't have to tell it to the universe. We have to tell it to our government. We have to tell it to these, you know, the bums that are, the fascists that are in power. We've had enough, right? So anyway, Trump is continually, I mean like 14 hours a day, they are freaking out. Those people I just mentioned, and more, Matt Gaetz too. We'll get to them. It might be a little longer video. Tweet Scotchy loves Church of Spirituality. Tacopina, there's something wrong with him. Anyway, this is Trump trying to rig the system. It takes him 14 hours a day to rig the system. Diane sings my chants throughout the day. There's one about all is well, and I'm in the present, and wow, thank you for all the accolades. Joey Tacopina. Yeah, so that's what Trump is doing constantly. It's really weird. Can you imagine getting up in the morning, that's the first thing you're doing? You're getting on the phone, you're trying to rig the system, rig the judicial system. That's been his life. Thank you, Cheryl. But the universe created this to begin with. What's the point? Are you really going to make me go down that whole existential philosophical discussion? Froxy Roxy? Because that conversation, I'm just going to read. The universe created this to begin with. What's the point? Everyone keeps saying we learn our lessons. What's the point? That's a very long conversation. Too long for this. Come on. I mean, let's not wax all negative. I know the news is really negative, but when we have all this darkness, we shine our light brighter. And we need a certain amplitude of light. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I see that you have. And do make sure that you watch the show, the podcast. It's my first one with a video with and it's Kathy Bale, the astrologer. So check it out. Why are you not allowed? No, it's not that you're not allowed to ask metaphysical questions. I'm just saying. Well, when someone says, "What's the point?" it sounds like you're saying, "What's the point of life?" And that's negative. That feels negative. We're here to learn to love. We're here to learn to love. And not speaking up is apathy. That's true. Let's go to Alvin Bragg. Send Alvin Bragg tons and tons of light. And we can do that tomorrow night at 20 on Tuesdays also. Send Alvin Bragg tons and tons of light. That's why I have the sign here. Darkness reminds us of light. We're here to learn how to love. Roxy, please don't get upset. People are, I fully admit, I said it several times tonight, I'm not in a good mood. I mean, I'm fine, but I'm not in a good mood. I know, I understand. I'm okay. And I'm the source of that is children being massacred by gun violence. That's what it is. Yes, and Jill, you're right. I mean, that was a deep thing to get into. Like, what's the point of being here if we're having bad experiences? And so that's too long of a discussion to get into. Gosh, we have enough to cover, right? Anyway, express your feelings. It's healthy. If we don't see the dark, we can't fix it. But not only that, if we don't see the dark, we have no reason to make our light brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Thank you, Cheryl. I needed that, Cheryl. Thank you. Alvin Bragg. Say serious prayers for Alvin Bragg because he needs to be protected. I mean, they're getting bomb threats and everything. It's really scary. See how his energy's doing. Yeah, crying. We all should be crying. If we're humans and we have feelings. The transgender who went to this Christian school. I don't think we know enough about the shooter. So this is Alvin Bragg. It's stressful. It's really stressful. So send him healing. He's under a lot of stress. He's holding the sword of truth and the star, this is a card for America. He's in good hands. Alvin Bragg is in good hands in terms of people making sure he's safe. I don't think anything's going to fall through the cracks. And did you know that Reverend Al Sharpton was just talking about that. He knows Alvin Bragg pretty well. They're pretty good friends. And he was talking about he's a family guy. And then he really touched my heart when he was like, and he teaches Sunday school. Alvin Bragg teaches Sunday school. You can't be bad if you teach Sunday school. When you were a child, you started counting numbers. You didn't realize you were doing numerology. Wait a minute. Wait. Ellen, I asked people to please... Never mind. I asked people to drop a topic and they just refused to. So there's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my hands. Sorry I said it. Bragg was shut down by bar. That's right. And then I think he got a load of information after that made him just have to prosecute. And I wanted to say something about the really, and this energy. I'm not sure what's going on astrologically. I hadn't checked. Today is the 27th. The moon has been in Gemini. It's void, of course. The moon is void, of course, tonight. Oh, it's in Gemini right now. So, oh yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of chatting. Oh, the recording, the podcast with Kathy I signed on to do a podcast at a studio. So that's what that was. I have a contract. So I'm going to have to start making money soon. That's where the podcast was. All right, what was I just going to read on? Yeah. Thank you, Dancing Warrior. I mean, one thing I just have to remind people of is we're every one of us in America, I'm just talking about America right now, is under a lot of stress whether you realize it or not. We lived through January 6th, right? We lived through that. That shook us to our core. Trump shakes us to our core if we're not brainwashed, right? If we're not part of the cult. Oh, thank you. Well, you have to let Kathy know too. It's Kathy Beale. They liked the astrology show. So we're under an incredible amount of duress, and I have to just say this. Yes, the 100-year-old woman speaking in Florida about the books ban. I think DeSantis is going down. During these times, I think it's really helpful for us all to just consider the reality that everybody that you encounter is going through something. Yeah, it's so much hate, violence, and cruelty. And that's why I started the Kindness Corner. So send me your stories to AnnetteDion7@gmail.com so I can read them for the Kindness Corner, which are new videos that I've just started doing. But just if we can just keep in our minds, every person that you encounter is going through something. Even if it's not a personal, like I'm fine. It's like, even if it's not a personal, tragedy, God forbid, everybody's going through something. I've seen, Kathy, you put up your question and then you erased it and I was just going to answer it. I just feel like I have to say that. So be kind, and it's a practice. It's completely a practice. It really is. And we all screw up all the time. I screwed up like 5 times tonight. I wasn't kind. The love was there. I was just being short-tempered. Children being massacred, Oh, there you are. Do I see Ron DeSantis going to jail? I've always seen Ron DeSantis going to jail, actually. Let's read on Ron DeFascist. We do have to start calling out the fascists for what they are. Marjorie Taylor Greene was up there praising Putin. I don't know why she doesn't just move to Russia. Thank you, Catherine. I don't know why she just doesn't move to Russia. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to move to Russia? Is she going to move to Russia? No. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to be ousted? Is she going to be? Is Marjorie Taylor Greene? I get a yes on that. And by the way, don't get angry at yourself for being angry. Just try to do better, because that just piles up and makes it worse exponentially. Georgia's turning blue. I like that. I like your attitude. For what it's worth, that's a great song. Ron DeFascist. What is his fate? Remember, I told you I do not see Ron DeFascist running for president. He's got major skeletons in his closet, Ron DeFascist does. Siberia from Marjorie Taylor Greene. You watched Rachel Maddow move to tears as live talking about mass shootings. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Right? Is that what I'm reading about? No, this is Ron DeSantis. I'm sorry. I think Hakeem Jeffries is going to be speaker. You think Ron DeFascist is high? I actually think if you see that glassy-eyed look on DeFascist, which I've seen often, I don't think he's sleeping. I think that that's an indicator that he's not sleeping. He doesn't know what. Ron DeFascist is in a really bad place psychologically, obviously. The Two of Swords, yes, he's in a pickle because believe it or not, we'll call him Ron DeSantis for a second in case anybody joins us new and doesn't know what I'm talking about. Ron DeSantis actually can't figure out what he's going to do. I think I heard somebody, it might have been a psychic on YouTube, I think I heard somebody say it's his wife that wants him to run for president. She's wackadoodle. And here's my evidence of that. Ron DeSantis' wife wants to be Jackie Onassis. Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene should just get out of here, right? She wants to be Jackie Onassis. And the reason I'm saying that is because I saw a photo, not sure what the event was, of the two of them, Ron and his wife, I don't know her name, at some event, and she was dressed exactly like Jackie O would have dressed. And I think that he's being pressured to run for president. And the Six of Swords is a journey away from difficulty, and the guides just said health problems for him. And somebody said he looks like he's high, and maybe that's it. And you know what somebody said that about the other day was, we were talking about Tacopina. Oh, what Wes is saying right now, I would just see a little bit of what you're saying, but you saw the pink suit on Ron DeFascist's wife? We covered some of that in the astrology show earlier, right before I jumped on here. So if you want to know more about that, check it out. Everyone thinks they can be Jackie O, but this... Yeah, I know, but really, does anyone know Ron DeSantis' wife's name? I don't. I guess I don't care that much. But I really do feel like, because I'm getting that he's like this. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And are you in Florida, Dancing Warrior? Tacopina's. You've been listening to Michael Cohen making fun of Tacopina's name? He doesn't know what to do, Ron DeSantis. And I actually think that he's going to get sick. And that'll be his excuse to get out of it. And then the Six of Rods. I actually see this as the immigrant, the asylum seeker situation where he kidnapped the asylum seekers coming back to haunt him. I see lawyers with really strong cases against him. That's what's keeping him awake at night. Ron DeFascist. And how it's so interesting, how he gets himself to feel more powerful is by banning books. Casey, okay. She's striking me, her energy's striking me as really off, too. As really, like OCD. He'll be sick when Trump ruins him. Let's take a look at, now remember, last week, I just want to take a look at Donald Trump's health. Last week, remember I said Wednesday Trump would be indicted? But I guess, well, obviously it wasn't last Wednesday, but I wonder if it's this Wednesday. Oh, I don't think DeSantis controls his wife. I think she controls him. I'm not picking up that he controls his wife at all. Believe it or not. Yeah, the asylum seekers thing was devastating. It was horrible. I just see Ron DeFascist. I see lawyers. So Kathy's asking about Disney in Florida. I just see lawyers coming at him. I think I said that the other night too. I need you to support me, and there are so many of you sending me love. I'm good. Thank you. I can always use more of that, right? Midas Touch said Wednesday what? Oh, they did? Yeah, I said Wednesday, but that was last week. So, hope my community cards are uplifting. We do our best, right? Let's take a look at Trump's health, out of curiosity. Thank you for the love. I do feel your love. I do feel your support. And I do read your comments. I don't answer the comments because once I get started, that's just going to take so long. So just know I appreciate it. And if you've donated, I really appreciate it, and please do. It's not easy to send you thank yous, but so I'm thanking you now. I mean, in terms of, I don't have your email, and, you know. It's Spaghetti Day! Prince Spaghetti. Cheryl lives in the Northeast. It used to be Prince Spaghetti Day. Wednesday. Hump Day. I'll ask the pendulum, too. How's Trump's health? This is Trump's health. There's a lot of constriction in his chest area. This is Trump's health. Yeah, so just going back to DeSatan, he has stolen money that was supposed to go to the people. The guys just said, so much money. He's stolen so much money from his constituents. Wow. The Letitia James case that Trump is, facing in New York. I'm asking about his health. It's stressing him the hell out. That one's bugging him the most, oddly enough, because it has to do with finances. Because the Letitia James case could shut down him financially. The Two of Cups, I see people, he's always trying to do deals. I'm asking about Trump's health. This is like his deal with the devil. I cannot tell you. Yeah, thank you. The fascist wife is Casey. I cannot tell you how many times I feel like Trump has a deal with the devil. I mean, and I feel like, thank you for the hugs. I feel like Trump has a deal with the devil. And I think that when someone has a deal with the devil keeps them alive. Is Trump going to end up in jail? I get yes on that. The hammer game with Trump's head popping up? That's funny. Having an immature moment. Oh, will he get racketeering charges? Let's see. Will he get racketeering charges? I'm getting yes on that. Maybe that's very expensive. It should be. Okay. Oh my goodness, where does the time go? I spent the first half an hour expressing my feelings, so that's where the time went. I'll be back on Wednesday. And we have 20 on Tuesdays. I've always said that I see him under house arrest. Always. Can Biden do an executive order on what? Whack-a-mole, yes, whack-a-mole. Wacko-wacko? Your cat says hi. Hi! Alright. How about some community cards, shall we? Make sure you book a reading. Put Al Capone in prison. Yeah. Somebody mentioned that other psychics have seen him under executive order about the AR-15s. I think that might happen. I've always seen Trump under house arrest. Will Biden be able to sign? Remember, I was asking about that a little bit, and I saw the Two of Swords. I did see progress, but it was the mothers. And the Seven of Cups regarding executive orders on assault weapons. But it was the mother. I think it's mom's demand action is going to make action happen. I already asked if Trump was going to end up in jail. Wait, what were we? Okay, I think that Trump will be in prison of some form. Will Melania divorce him? What do you think? I think Melania has another lover. Let's see. Will Trump be indicted Wednesday? I'm seeing Wednesday. Yeah, you know, Kathy's saying the orange menace in a mental institution, house arrest. Yeah, I totally see that. We should ship them to Belarus. Oh my, look what time it is. Um, we'll have to read on the other fascists next time. I'm gonna pull 3 community cards to keep us going. All right. 3 community cards to keep us going. All is well. I have this really nice chant called All is Well on my church. Church of Spirituality. It's worth looking into. 3 community cards to tie us over. Oh, Rose, you just came on. I'm just going to jump off in a second. We'll have to save the other questions for next time. So save them. Don't forget. We're actually going to see a coming together of Americans. We are. Remember, Tennessee's a red state. This is going to make people think twice about their guns. At least twice. About their love affairs with their guns. See, y'all make me feel better. So we're gonna see people coming together. We are gonna see people come together. Oh, Bonnie, you watched my church today. You can watch it any day. Ah, the bottle dropped just in time for the end of the show tonight. The Queen of Rods. We will see some good coming in the next couple of days. Because the 6 of Cups is a sense of family and unity. Remember I said the moms and dads in Nashville will be making a difference. We are all here for each other. And you know what? Just like family, let me just say, when a person has a channel, it's like the people that are your viewers become like your family. And in a family, even in a healthy family, people get upset and they express their feelings and then they get over it. Right? So many crimes, so little time. The Queen of Rods. I'm seeing somebody, a female, in the spotlight over the next couple of days. I know the bottle drop's like dropping the mic. Maybe I'll psychically time that some night. All right. I'm just trying to think of who the female... It might be Fonnie Willis. I think it's Fonnie Willis. She should be arrested. Who should be arrested? Oh, Melania, yeah. Yeah, Melania knows more. I don't think they're going to throw Melania in jail. Yeah, I agree, sissy. So, please check out the video that I did today with Kathy Beal, the astrologer, and we went over what's going on in the United States astrologically. Thank you for all the love. Please remember what I said. Everybody's going through a tough time. And we need to uplift and pray and send light to Nashville and all victims and families of school shootings. And we'll do our best. And join us for 20 on Tuesdays. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com and sign up to attend our meetings, to get the Zoom invite and to get all the notes. All right? Be well. Namaste. I love you more than you know. See you soon.